What's up? What's up, everyone? It is Atia here at Booking with Atia, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to get into my October wrap up and highlights. I'm going to go through everything that I read during the month of October, give you some star ratings, give you some stats, and then I'm going to talk about the books that stood out to me the most. Before we jump into it, however, I do want to encourage you to check out my Bonfire and my Etsy shop. The former, you can get sweatshirts, t-shirts, hoodies, totes, hats, things like that, mugs. And the latter, my Etsy shop, you can actually get homemade bookmarks from yours truly. We have some great sets as well as some ideas that are percolating and stickers coming in 2026, which I'm super excited about. So starting with everything that I read, I'm just going to give you the rundown. If you're new here, I give the rundown of everything I've read. I don't go into like synopses and details and things like that, or like my thoughts on everything. That comes a little bit later in the video with my highlights. So starting with Harlem After Midnight by Louise Hare, 3.75 stars. Goal by Alexandria House, 4 stars. Watch Where They Hide by Tamron Hall, 3.5 stars. The Wind Weaver's Storm by Antoine Bandel, 4 stars. The Candid Life of Meena Dave by Namrata Patel, 3.75 stars. Return of the Sister Samurai by Tatiana Obey, 4.75 stars. The Hero's Equinox by Antoine Bandel, 4.5 stars. A Murder for Miss Hortense by Mel Pennant, 5 stars. Capadonna by Jaquel J, 5 stars. Space Brooms by A.G. Rodriguez, 3.5 stars. Dating Dr. Jill by Nisha Sharma, 3.5 stars. Capadonna 2 by Jaquel J, 4.5 stars. Gabriella in His Grace by Leanne De La Rosa, 3.75 stars. Miss V's Hot Girl Summer by A.H. Cunningham, 4 stars. Capadonna 2.5 by Jaquel J, 5 stars. Taken to Noble by Elizabeth Stevens, 4 stars. Goddess of Filth by V. Castro, 3.5 stars. The Sinister Sisters and Other Terrifying Tales by Roseanne A. Brown, 3.5 stars. The Creeping of Dogwood House by Eden Royce, 4 stars. Jazz by Toni Morrison, 3.75 stars. Insomniacs After School, Volume 9, 5 stars. Great Black Hope by Rob Franklin, 3 stars. Kiki Kilira Conquers a Curse by Sangu Mandana, 3.75 stars. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana, 4 stars. Where They Last Saw Her by Marcy R. Rendon, 4.5 stars. I DNF The Josiah Crown by Sarah Hashem. I also DNF'd Hot for Teacher by Monique Fisher. And I DNF'd Loteria by Carla Arenas Valenti, as well as I DNF'd Age of Vice by Deepti Kapoor. Then I read The Between by Tanana Reeve Jew, 5 stars. Jasmine is Haunted by Mark Oshiro. I forget the rating. I didn't put the rating for that one for some reason, but I believe that one was 4 stars. The Honjin Murders by Seishi Yokomizo, 4 stars. Of the Sun by Zelena Gonzalez. Black Hair Ken by Sylvia Rodriguez. The Old Woman with the Knife by Gu Byong Mo, 4 stars. Capadonna 3 by Jaquel J, 4 stars. Roots of Madness number 1, 4 stars. Capadonna 3.5 by Jaquel J, 5 stars. And then rounding it out with A Caribbean Heiress in Paris by Adriana Herrera, 3.75 stars. And in terms of totals, that was a total of 3,010 pages and 82.23 audiobook hours. 6 of the books were ARCs, or gifts from publishers. 4 of the books had queer representation. 8 books were indie published. 10 were 2025 releases, and 5 were from my owned backlist TBR, so books I owned prior to 2025. And then we're going to dive into the 3 books that stood out to me. There's just 3 this month that really called for me to talk about them. The first one being The Hero's Equinox by Antoine Bandel. This is the 3rd book in the TJ Young and the Orishas series, which I've really been enjoying. This further cemented my deep love and appreciation for the series. I love how we see TJ try to navigate his growing responsibilities and powers while also navigating this budding romantic relationship with one of his best friends, moving through this reoccurring trauma that he's dealing with from the past two books, as well as balancing shifting dynamics of his family and continuing to navigate his evolving and complex grief due to the death of his sister. And I'm looking forward and extremely excited for the fourth book in the series, which has already been confirmed. I believe we also have like a title. We just need to get that publication date. And I gave The Hero's Equinox 4.5 stars. The next book we have is, well, actually it's a series. It's the Capadonna series by Jack J. So this is 5 novellas. This is season 2 of the Delgado series. The first season being Capone, which I read. Did I read it in May? I can't remember, but I absolutely loved this. This follows Capadonna. He is freshly out of prison. I believe he was there for 15 years. And we follow him. We follow Alea, who is a recent widow. And they kind of like met in the prison visiting room, kind of a little bit. And there's always been like some kind of connection. And so they end up reuniting outside, like in the real world. And Alea is, pregnant with her deceased husband's baby. She's navigating that. Capadonna is navigating being out of prison and just like this growing relationship. And there's all these other action plot points that just have me hooked. Highly recommend the Delgado series. This series really had me cackling every other page. It is no different than what I was doing when I read Capone, but this is like belly aching laughter. Capadonna has absolutely no sense. Like, the character of Capadonna is a whole nutcracker. Like, this man don't make no type of sense. The romance between Alea and Capadonna is like beautifully done. It's patient. It's deep. It's thoughtful. The action plot is gripping and propels the story forward. And like, I don't even consider, you have a romance, yeah, and that's like kind of like the driving force between in like the first one or two, but it's really like those action plots that Chuck J be writing, where it's like, okay, like I'm locked in with you here, girl. And I will most definitely be reading season 3 of the Delgado series, which is Capri's story, which is their baby sister. I've actually already started it. I gave the entire series a rating of 4.7 out of 5 stars. Moving on to A Murder for Miss Hortense by Mel Pennant. This follows Miss Hortense. She is an elderly woman who is just trying to live life, and she was kind of like pushed out of her community's loan system, if you will. Like, they did a thing where they like gave money every week, and what was it called? It's like the pen. I forget what they like call it. It's like different terms in different cultures. But she like left the management of that, and one of the members of that ends up dead, and she is kind of like thrust into solving this mystery. It's an excellent balance of mystery, character development, and humor. I was locked in the entire time reading this book. I wanted to know what happened, but I also just loved the community and the friendships and the characters that we were getting. I loved the banter between Miss Hortense and her community. I was laughing so often, especially when she's with her best friend who has no sense, but it's all love. And I appreciated how Pennant was able to infuse these natural feeling character beats that didn't sacrifice the mystery. Like, this author did that so well. And I gave A Murder for Miss Hortense 5 stars. And that is it. That is my October reading wrap up. Let me know, what was your favorite book of October? Biggest surprise, biggest disappointment? Did you DNF a book that you didn't think you were going to DNF? Check out all of my links, my social media. And if you want to further support the channel, consider becoming a Patreon member or a channel member. Make sure to check out my Bonfire and my Etsy shop. And I will see you in another video. Bye.
Showing. I ain't living for the moment. I see what's mine and I want it. Hungry like a Pac-Man. I'm Bruce Wayne and Batman. I'm Naruto with a Hanzo. Got a sharp mind like I'm Einstein. Plus I'm copywriting, so it's all mine. Check it for me.